Are we live? It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Asylum. I'm your host, Gabriel. I hope everyone is having a great day so far. I definitely am, and I hope everyone who is watching this video is also having a great day as well. And, of course, last night was Smackdown and AEW Rampage Grand Slam. And, yeah, one show was meh, and one show was really, really fun. Okay. Do you want to guess which one was mid and which one was a fun and entertaining show? Well, you know how I'll give you a sec. 3, 2, 1. So SmackDown, in my opinion, was a pretty mid show. It wasn't a great show. There were certain things on this show that was absolutely dumb, but I'll get to that in a few minutes. But Rampage Grand Slam, on the other hand, was a pretty entertaining show, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm going to go over both shows. I was going to do it last night, but obviously the Rampage Grand Slam ended at 12 o'clock, and I was extremely tired. And I wanted to give you guys the best review possible for both shows. So here I am, all fresh and energized. And of course, before I talk about the reviews, I usually talk about any wrestling news that is going on. Obviously, that's not the case. So without further ado, to not waste any more time, let's review both SmackDown and AEW Rampage Grand Slam. So right off the bat, let's talk about SmackDown. So again, SmackDown was a pretty mid show tonight. It wasn't a perfect show. There was definitely some flaws that I definitely hated on SmackDown tonight. But there were also certain things that I really, really like. So let's go over it. So we start off the show with a change of format. Finally, thank God, because they keep starting SmackDown with Roman Reigns. They always start the show with Roman Reigns. And don't get me wrong, I love Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the best thing WWE has right now. Okay, Roman is great and all, but you keep doing the same thing, the same format every single week, putting Roman Reigns on the opening of the show. Why not change it up a bit and do a Seth Rollins promo, or what they did tonight when they started with Becky Lynch? They didn't start off the show with Roman Reigns, which is a fresh. It's basically fresh air. You know what I'm saying? It's fresh air. Okay, because again, as much as I love Roman Reigns, okay, I was getting sick and tired of seeing him opening the show every single Friday. You need a change of format. Okay, and I'm glad they didn't start with Roman Reigns. They started off with Becky Lynch. Of course, Becky Lynch comes out talking trash about Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair comes out. She talks crap about Becky Lynch. And I thought this was a great back and forth between Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. And yeah, I thought this was a great back and forth, in my opinion. But then to end the segment, Becky Lynch was trying to go for a cheap shot. Bianca Belair was prepared and takes Becky Lynch out with the KOD. Of course, they're fighting for the SmackDown Women's Championship tomorrow night at Extreme Rules. Most of you are probably wondering, Extreme Rules is tomorrow? Yeah, the Extreme Rules is tomorrow, but WWE has done a shit job building up their pay-per-views. And I just want to keep in mind, only one match on the Extreme Rules shows that has an extreme stipulation. That's Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor. That's going to be an Extreme Rules match tomorrow night at Extreme Rules. Excuse me, WWE, but one Extreme Rules match does not make the entire pay-per-view of Extreme Rules extreme. Okay? If you're not going to put any effort into, like, If you're not going to put any effort to making Extreme Rules an actual Extreme show, then just get rid of the damn pay-per-view. Matter of fact, get rid of all these gimmick pay-per-views. There's no point of having them. Honestly, the only pay-per-views you should have on your pay-per-view calendar is Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Everything else needs to go. Okay? These gimmick pay-per-views need to die. Okay? There are no reason to have gimmick pay-per-views anymore. Honestly. But other than that, I thought this was a simple but very effective segment between Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. After that, we got Shinsuke Nakamura, my boy, defending the Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews. And I know that we already seen this matchup a lot of times, but the one positive that I would give these two men every time they're in the ring together, they always have great chemistry. Like, I thought this was a great match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Apollo Crews. Now, I just hope and pray that they don't do this matchup anymore, because that is just freaking overkill. But yeah, WWE needs to keep Nakamura and Crews away for a long while. Okay, but I thought this was a great matchup between Nakamura and Apollo Crews. Both men have absolute chemistry. And Rick Boogs, holy shit, Rick Boogs, freaking T-bone suplex Commander Aziz, who is a freaking giant, take him down with a T-bone suplex just like that. Okay, Rick Boogs is just a natural treasure, man. He really is. I really love this pairing between Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. Awesome, awesome stuff. And again, great matchup by both Shinsuke Nakamura and Apollo Crews. And Nakamura retains the Intercontinental Championship. After that, we got an interview with Montez Ford. Apollo Crews wasn't here tonight. I don't remember why, but Apollo Crews was not on Smackdown last night, but he will be at Extreme Rules. But Montez Ford talking crap about Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. I thought it was a great promo by Montez Ford. Montez Ford's promo, like, he has this charisma that is just unmatched. Like, Montez Ford, in terms of charisma, is one of the best in the world currently. Like, his charisma is absolutely insane. I bloody love Montez Ford. But that leads into a quick Roman Reigns Paul Heyman segment where Roman Reigns got offended by Montez Ford's comments, and he wants Paul Heyman to make the main event official between Roman Reigns and Montez Ford. Obviously, that ends up being the case. And of course, the TV main event for SmackDown is Roman Reigns versus Montez Ford. After that, we get a Seth Rollins promo. And I just want to say this. Seth Rollins, as of late, is on another level. Is like this drip god crazy persona. This may be my favorite version of Seth Rollins. Like, he plays crazy so incredibly well. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when Seth Rollins was doing this drip god stuff, like, I had my doubts and I didn't like it at first. But then him slowly going insane, that is just like, it is very, very entertaining stuff. He's slowly becoming like the WWE's Joker in a way. And as a comic book fan, I absolutely love that. Seth Rollins plays crazy extremely, extremely well. And I thought this was an incredible promo by Seth Rollins. But unfortunately, with every positive, there has to come with a negative. Because Seth Rollins wanted Edge to come out to SmackDown next Friday. Now, I was extremely worried that, they're going to bring Edge this early back, but maybe that might not be the case whatsoever. But then Edge on Twitter just flat out said, and WWE announced that Edge is going to make his return this Friday on SmackDown. What are you doing, WWE? What are you doing? Do you not know how to be patient? Edge just got taken out by Seth Rollins last week. Why not take Edge out for at least a couple of weeks? Maybe even a month or two. Why not save that for a later date? Why do you gotta bring Edge back immediately to SmackDown? After he just got attacked. Like, you mean to tell me you couldn't let Edge off of TV for at least a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two? That is one of the biggest problems of WWE. They don't know how to be fucking patient. They don't know how to be fucking patient. Honestly, it's ridiculous. There's no reason for Edge to return back this early. Why not let Edge sell the injury for at least a couple weeks? Honestly, why do you gotta bring him back immediately? Honestly, man, that's WWE in a nutshell. With every positive, there's always a negative. Okay? And it pisses me off. Okay? Edge shouldn't be coming back this early. He shouldn't. He should sell his injury for at least a couple weeks or a month or two. But WWE doesn't know how to be fucking patient. Honestly, man. Honestly. And we go from one dumb thing to another. So we got Liv Morgan versus Selena Vega. So tomorrow night, Liv Morgan is going to go against Carmella. I don't know why it's happening on the pay-per-view. It ends up being a waste of fucking time. But not only that, but Liv Morgan went one-on-one against Selena Vega last night, and Liv Morgan lost. The person with the pay-per-view matchup lost days before her pay-per-view. Why? Honest to God, why is that? Why do you gotta have a person who has a pay-per-view matchup lose before her pay-per-view matchup at the pay-per-view? It's fucking dumb. Liv Morgan should have won this matchup. It's already bad enough that people don't care about Liv Morgan versus Carmella. I don't even know why it's at the freaking pay-per-view. But now you just killed off just a speck of intrigue by letting Liv Morgan fucking lose mere days before her pay-per-view matchup. Do people in WWE not use their fucking brains? Honestly, do WWE not use their fucking brains? Okay, again, it's already bad enough that Liv Morgan, it already doesn't make any sense why Liv Morgan Carmella is happening at Extreme Rules. It's not a pay-per-view worthy matchup. And just to have Liv Morgan lose days before, I just hate the fact that people lose just days before a pay-per-view. It's absolutely dumb. Absolutely dumb. Like, what's the point of even having Liv Morgan versus Carmella? You just killed off all the intrigue, or just a speck of intrigue, that you had with Liv Morgan and Carmella when you had Liv Morgan lose to Selena Vega last night. Horrible call. Horrible call by WWE. But what else is new? Honestly. After that, we get a happy talk segment with Baron Corbin, where Baron Corbin, he comes out, he talks trash about Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens comes out. He was going to attack Baron Corbin, but then Riddick Moss, who is so employed with the company, shockingly, attacks Kevin Owens, and basically Baron Corbin and Riddick Moss attacks and basically takes down Kevin Owens. So there's that. And so Baron Corbin and Riddick Moss are a thing now. Okay. After that, we get the new WWE Tag Team Champions Nikki Cross or Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley coming out. Nikki Cross is in action against Natalya, one half of the former champions. And first of all, I just want to say, why is Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley a team? Honestly, why are they a team? They have no chemistry whatsoever. Makes no sense, honestly. But again, Nikki Ash defeats Natalya. It was an okay match, nothing too crazy. But then Shotzi and Nox, who are the rightful number one contenders for the WWE Tag Team Champions, because they beat the former champions 3 times. 3 times. Okay? So they should automatically get a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship matchup against Rhea Ripley and Nikki Cross. And I swear to God, if WWE makes Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox earn their championship matchup again, then I'm going to be pissed. Because they already beat the former champions 3 times. Shotzi and Nox should have got their championship opportunity before Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash. But again, another problem WWE has. Inconsistency. Honestly, man. Honestly. After that, though, Rey and Dominic Mysterio, we got a segment. Rey Mysterio trying to teach his son like how to be better in the ring. Dominic Mysterio saying that like you're suffocating him, and like ever since Rey has been like by his side, like he has been losing over and over again against Sami Zayn. Like he wants Dominic wants to be on his own. He wants to be able to do it without the help of Rey Mysterio. Obviously, Rey didn't like that, so he wanted Dominic Mysterio to have his space. Rey leaves the room. Dominic Mysterio said he didn't mean anything of what he said to Rey. But then Sami Zayn comes into the mix. And basically, Sami Zayn wants Dominic Mysterio to be by his side. So Sami Zayn wants Dominic Mysterio to be by his side, which I think is pretty interesting. Honestly, what they should do is turn Dominic heel. I think it would be an interesting program between Rey and Dominic Mysterio, father versus son. Like, you already got everything there. Like, you got Dominic Mysterio want to come out of his shell all by himself, but Rey Mysterio is holding him back. And Dominic Mysterio can't take it anymore, and he turns heel on Rey Mysterio. You got all the pieces. You got all the pieces to make this an interesting program between father and son, between Rey and Dominic Mysterio. I hope WWE pulls the trigger on this. I really, really do. I would love to see a Dominic Mysterio heel turn and see this interesting program between Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Hell, you can put Sami Zayn as a key part into this rivalry. Like, letting Sami Zayn, like, trying to manipulate Dominic Mysterio. Like, I think this is great so far. I don't appreciate the rematches between Dominic Mysterio and Sami Zayn, but I really like what they're doing between Rey, Dominic, and Sami Zayn. All they got to do is pull that trigger to make this rivalry even more interesting than it already is. After that, we got honestly the best thing on the show, in my opinion. Naomi comes out. Obviously, she's been being held back by Sonya Deville. She hasn't been booked by Sonya Deville. So Naomi comes out. She wants someone to face her one-on-one. Obviously, this wasn't booked. Sonya Deville comes out, talks trash about Naomi, saying that, no, you don't deserve to be in that ring. So Sonya Deville sends security. They take Naomi away. and Sonya Deville keep talking more trash about Naomi. So I'm really loving this rivalry right now between Naomi and Sonya Deville. I absolutely love this right now. Sonya Deville holding Naomi back, like not booking her in any matches. Naomi getting sick and tired of it. Sonya Deville basically abusing her power. Pat McAfee said it best. Sonya Deville basically abusing her power. So I'm really loving what they're doing between Naomi and Sonya Deville. And I really like how they didn't immediately do this matchup. Like, they should honestly save it for like a future SmackDown. Or maybe do this at Survivor Series. Hell, fuck it, do it at Survivor Series. I think this would be a great matchup for Survivor Series. It's already one of the best rivalries right now in WWE, and I think that all this should culminate either in a future SmackDown, or how I would book it, I would save this shit for Survivor Series. Do Naomi versus Sonya Deville. And if Naomi wins, then Naomi becomes a full active member of the SmackDown Women's Division. Like, I think that would be great. Honestly, if I were to book it, I would save this for Survivor Series. But I wouldn't mind if they do this for a future SmackDown. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I'm actually loving this storyline between Naomi and Sonya Deville. After that, we get a shot of Roman Reigns coming out to the arena. And then the Usos trying to hype up Roman, and Alpha Academy went face to face with the Usos. Like, they went face to face, so that is interesting. If anyone deserves to be SmackDown Tag Team Champions, definitely Alpha Academy. They have been a really great tag team on SmackDown. One of the few things that are actually great on SmackDown. I fucking love Alpha Academy. And to tease a matchup between the Usos and the Alpha Academy, yo, sign me up. I think that would be absolutely great. But now it's time to talk about the main event. Roman Reigns versus Montez Ford. And I thought this was a great matchup. I thought this was a great TV main event. The crowd was into it. It was a very fun matchup. And Montez Ford actually had a strong showing against Roman Reigns. It wasn't a one-sided matchup. Montez Ford got a couple of shots in against Roman Reigns. And there was one point of the matchup where I thought Montez Ford was going to win the matchup. Obviously, that was not the case. But again, I thought this was a great, great matchup. Montez Ford has nothing to be ashamed of. I thought this was a great match. Obviously, Roman Reigns picks up the victory over Montez Ford. After that, Paul Heyman sends out the Usos, and the Usos basically destroy Montez Ford. And Roman Reigns just slammed Montez Ford through the table. But then the lights go out, and Finn Balor comes out in his demon persona, takes out both Roman Reigns and the Usos. And Finn Balor just, like, it ends the show with Finn Balor being on top as the Usos and Roman Reigns got taken out by the Demon King, Finn Balor. And considering that there wasn't much build-up to this Extreme Rules match between Roman Reigns and Finn Balor, I thought this was a smart way to end the show. Have Finn Balor be on top. Have Roman Reigns taken out by Finn Balor, and have SmackDown end the show with Finn Balor having this picture of Finn Balor taking out Roman Reigns. I thought that was kind of smart by WWE to have Finn Balor just lay out Roman Reigns. So obviously we all know Roman Reigns is going to defeat Finn Balor, which is unfortunate, but yeah, Roman Reigns is definitely going to beat Finn Balor tomorrow night at Extreme Rules. but I thought this was kind of a smart way. It doesn't excuse the small of like the it doesn't take away the lack of build up to this rivalry because WWE did a very piss poor job of really building up this rivalry between Roman Reigns and Finn Balor. WWE could have done so much better. But yeah, I thought this was a great way to end SmackDown. I thought it was very smart by WWE to have Finn Balor late waste to Roman Reigns. So yeah, that was basically SmackDown. Again, there was things that I like on this show, but there was also things that I absolutely hate on this show. It was 50-50 for me. So in the words of MJF, SmackDown tonight was man. So that's all I got to say on that. So that was SmackDown last night. So there's that out of the way. Let's talk about Rampage Grand Slam, which I thought was the strongest show of the two. But then again, in my personal opinion, AEW is better than WWE, in my personal opinion. So we start off the show with CM Punk. He came out with his trunks. His CM Punk trunks are back. And I'm glad that CM Punk is going back to wearing trunks because honestly, I wasn't a big fan of CM Punk wearing wrestling tights at All Out. I thought that was extremely weird. But yeah, I'm glad CM Punk is back to wearing his OG trunks. But yeah, I thought this was a great matchup to start off the show between CM Punk and Powerhouse Hobbs. I will be lying if I say that this matchup wasn't a bit rough around the edges. There's two parts in particular that I thought was a little bit rough. There was the segment where CM Punk was going to do a Hurricanrana to Powerhouse Hobbs. I'm glad that nobody got hurt, but it was definitely not a pretty Hurricanrana. And there was one other part where CM Punk was going to do the GTS, but Will Hobbs reversed it and did the spine buster, but it wasn't exactly a pretty spine buster. So, yeah, it wasn't a bad spine buster, but it wasn't exactly pretty either. And I've been praising Will Hobbs with his spine busters. His spine busters are incredible. Honestly, I think Will Hobbs is one of the best spine busters in all of pro wrestling right now. But yeah, I don't know what happened, but his spine buster on CM Punk wasn't exactly pretty, but it got the job done. So yeah, it was a bit rough around the edges, but still, I thought this was a really good matchup between CM Punk and Powerhouse Hobbs to start the show. And I thought this was a very strong showing by Powerhouse Hobbs. And just the fact that Powerhouse Hobbs is CM Punk's second opponent in AEW and his first televised opponent in 7.5 years, that must be a really big deal for Powerhouse Hobbs. He definitely brought his A game, and I thought this was a really good matchup to start off Rampage Grand Slam between CM Punk and Powerhouse Hobbs. CM Punk does pick up the victory over Powerhouse Hobbs. After that, we get a promo between Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill, and Nyla Rose. And basically, all three ladies are talking crap on each other. And of course, we got Full Gear. Britt Baker needs to have Britt Baker needs to have an opponent for Full Gear for the AEW Women's Championship. And what I think AEW is going to do is do a triple threat match between Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill, and Nyla Rose. And the winner faces Britt Baker for the AEW Women's Championship at Full Gear. I think that would be a great idea. It would be a bit predictable, but again, there's nothing wrong with being predictable as long as the shit is good. And I would definitely be down with a Thunder Rosa versus Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose triple threat match on a Dynamite, and the winner faced Britt Baker at Full Gear for the AEW Women's Championship. I would definitely be an advocate for that. And then do Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker at Full Gear. That's what I would do. But yeah, I thought it would be a great idea. After that, we get a very fun 6-man tag team match as the Super Elite or the Super Click, Adam Cole, baby, and the Young Bucks went against Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. And holy shit, it's fun. Holy shit, this was a great matchup. This was a great fun matchup. And this matchup definitely delivered. All 6 men looked absolutely great. Absolutely great. Adam Cole got a freaking big pop in Arthur Ashe. Like, everybody was screaming out of the top of their lungs, Adam Cole, baby. And it was just amazing to see. But yeah, this was a great and fun 6-man tag team matchup, in my opinion. And during this matchup, they really teased a matchup between Adam Cole and Jungle Boy. Now, I thought that they were going to save this for Full Gear. But clearly that's not the case. As next week on Dynamite, we're going to get Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy. That is going to be a great match and definitely a match of the year candidate, in my opinion. But yeah, I thought this was a great 6-man tag team match between the Super Click and Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. The Super Click, Adam Cole and the Young Bucks picked up the victory as Adam Cole took out Luchasaurus for the win. And again, Adam Cole and Jungle Boy is happening next week on Dynamite. After that, we get Chris Jericho and Jake Hager going against the Men of the Year, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. And I thought this was a great matchup that really flowed very well, in my opinion. Like this match surprisingly flowed very well. And I really like this matchup between Chris Jericho and Jake Hager versus the Men of the Year. And surprisingly enough, the Men of the Year picks up the victory when Dan Lambert, he grabbed Jake Hager's foot, stopping Hager's momentum. And Scorpio Sky took advantage, pins him 1, 2, 3, and the Man of the Year picks up the victory. Now, this was the right call. This was definitely the right call. And I'm glad that AEW gave the Men of the Year the victory. Because as much as Jericho and Hager are already established stars, they didn't really need the victory. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, on the other hand, definitely needed the victory. So I'm glad that they got the victory. After that, though, Jake Hager took out Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page for a little bit. And it looks like Jericho and Hager were going to attack Dan Lambert. But the rest of American Top Team and all the MMA fighters came out and along with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page absolutely destroyed Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. They destroyed them. Oh my God. Talk about asserting your dominance. Holy shit. So this is definitely not over between Chris Jericho and Jake Hager and American Top Team. So there is that. Definitely an interesting rivalry going on right now. After that, we get another fun tag team matchup. This time it was an 8-man tag team match as Santana and Ortiz and the Lucha Bros, the AEW Tag Team Champions, went against Private Party and the Butcher and the Blade. And again, no complaints here. I thought this was a great and fun 8-man tag team match between all 8 teams. The only thing I didn't like was that during the matchup, it looked like Matt Hardy was going to cut Ortiz's hair, but then Orange Cassidy comes out with a big pop. Jack Evans comes out, knocks out Jack Evans, but then leaves. He doesn't even stop Matt Hardy. He doesn't even take him out of ringside. So what was the point of putting Orange Cassidy out there if you weren't going to have Orange Cassidy take Matt Hardy out of ringside? But then Matt Hardy, we went to commercial break, and then after commercial break, Matt Hardy already left anyways, and the excuse was Matt Hardy took Jack Evans in the back. Why? Like, I thought that was a bit weird, in my opinion. I thought that was a bit of a pointless cameo by Orange Cassidy. He does get a more of a cameo later on in the show that actually makes sense. But his first cameo, I wasn't exactly a fan of that. But back to the 8-man tag team match. Again, I thought this was a very fun matchup. And Santana and Ortiz and the Lucha Bros picks up the victory. Great moment, great matchup between all 8 teams. And I cannot wait. To see this matchup between the Lucha Bros and Santana and Ortiz. Like, they're 2 of the best tag teams in the world currently. And I cannot wait till their eventual matchup at Full Gear. It's definitely going to be a great match. Oh, and I completely forgot about something. So the Clique beat Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. They look incredibly well. And the Young Bucks today, actually went to Twitter and they teased a trios title. Like, they want the trios titles. And I hope and pray AEW brings in trios championships or 6-man tag team championships, because AEW has such a deep roster with 6 men. Like, you have Death Triangle, you can do Jericho, Hager, and Guevara. You have obviously the Super Clique and Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. You got all these 6-man teams. Why not make a division out of it? And I think Adam Cole and the Young Bucks should be the first ever trios champions. That's why I think the Young Bucks, that's why I think the Lucha Bros won the tag team titles from the Young Bucks at All Out. I think we're going to get the trios titles sooner rather than later. And I really hope we get the trios titles, because I think that'd be really, really awesome. But yeah, because AEW, like, when it comes to 6-man tag team action, like, AEW can do no wrong. So after that, we get a Matt Hardy interview. And Matt Hardy wants Jack Evans to compete in a hair versus hair match against Orange Cassidy. Obviously, Jack Evans did not like this, but he agreed to it. And we're going to get the matchup on Rampage next week. After that, we get an appearance by Sammy Guevara and Fuego del Sol. They're basically hyping up their matchup, as Sammy Guevara will face Miro for the TNT Championship next week on Dynamite. Miro comes out, though, and practically destroys Sammy Guevara and Fuego del Sol. Fuego del Sol Miro just freaking threw Fuego del Sol off the freaking stage. Like, Miro absolutely dominated Sammy Guevara and Fuego del Sol. I cannot wait for that matchup next week. It's going to be so, so good. After that, we get an Andrade El Idolo promo. And it's a great promo. And basically, he wants a rematch with Pac. Like, he wants a rematch. But this time, he doesn't want any like commotion or any interference. Andrade El Idolo, he is a heel, but he is a heel with a code. And I just love, because like, I like different heels, and I really like the heel. I'm honestly a fan of heels that have like a code. Like, I like heels that like want to defeat people fair and square instead of like cheating to win. And I like so basically we're getting a rematch between Andrade El Idolo and Pac. And again, I just really like that Andrade is one of these heels where he has a code where he is a heel, but he wants to beat you fair and square because he is just that damn good. So yeah, their first encounter was incredible. I cannot wait for their second encounter. It's going to be absolutely incredible. After that, we got Anna Jay versus Penelope Ford. And hold on, it looks like my computer is about to die. Let me charge it real quick. I don't want this video or live stream to end abruptly because it just dies immediately. That would suck. There we go. The computer is saved. So back to the review at hand. The next match for nothing too crazy. I thought this was a decent match. Penelope Ford surprisingly picks up the victory when the bunny Allie gave Penelope Ford the brass knuckles. Allie was distracting the referee, and Penelope Ford knocks out Anna Jay for the win. After that, the bunny and Penelope Ford attacks Anna Jay. Ty Conti came for the save, tried to save Anna Jay, but it was too much for Ty Conti. Too much for Ty Conti. The rest of the Hardy family office blocks the ring, making sure no help comes in the way for Anna Jay and Ty Conti. But then Orange Cassidy comes back out again with Chris Sadlander and all of the Dark Order. Obviously, there's been a little bit of disdain between all the members of the Dark Order. They go out and they basically help, and Orange Cassidy and the Dark Order basically save Anna Jay and Ty Conti. And of course, Alex Reynolds and Evil Uno, the two men who have the most problems within the Dark Order. Alex Reynolds tried to bury the hatchet, but Evil Uno did not do the handshake. So there is some division still in the Dark Order. And again, I am really loving this stuff with the Dark Order. And when Heyman Adam Page eventually makes his return and brings the Dark Order back together, I think it's going to end up being a great, great moment. Now we get to the part of the review where we go over the stuff that is happening next week. And of course, the matches that have been announced for next week for both Dynamite and Rampage are as follows. Miro versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson going against Matt Sydal and Dante Martin. Adam Cole, baby, will go against Jungle Boy. And Anna Jay and Ty Conti will go against the Bunny and Penelope Ford. All of that is happening next week on Dynamite. And on Rampage next week, we got Orange Cassidy going against Jack Evans in a hair versus hair matchup. Now it's time for our main event of the evening. Very fun matchup. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston going against Suzuki-gun, Minoru Suzuki, and Lance Archer in a lights-out match. And holy shit, this was a fun match. This was fun. This was brutal. And you know, like, if you guys watch my videos, you guys know that I am a sucker for hardcore wrestling fans. I am an absolute sucker for hardcore wrestling. And yeah, this was a very fun and brutal. Lights out match between both teams. And we even got a freaking appearance by a wrestling New York legend in Homicide. Homicide makes an appearance. I thought that was incredible. He got an amazing pop. He helps out Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. And to end the matchup, like, Eddie Kingston did like 3 backflips to Lance Archer. Eddie Kingston put a trash can on Lance Archer's head, and he just goes swinging, just beats the shit out of Lance Archer's head with the kendo stick, and he got the victory. And of course, Moxley, Kingston, and Homicide all celebrate to end the show. I thought this was a very fun matchup, and this lights out match was way more extreme than what WWE does with their Extreme Rules pay-per-view. This lights out match was more extreme than fucking the entire card of Extreme Rules. Like, honestly. But yeah, I thought this was a fun matchup. And the fact that we even saw Homicide, I thought that was really cool. Obviously, Eddie Kingston and Homicide are real life best friends. So I thought that was really, really awesome. Overall, I thought Rampage Grand Slam was a very fun and entertaining show. Very fun and entertaining show. Obviously, if I were to compare both Dynamite Grand Slam and Rampage Grand Slam, I would still say Dynamite Grand Slam was a better show. Well, it was a better show. Both shows are incredible in their own right. But I thought Dynamite Grand Slam was a little more entertaining because it was a stronger show. It was a way stronger show than Rampage Grand Slam. But even though Rampage Grand Slam wasn't exactly a strong show, I thought it was still a very fun and very entertaining show. And I thought Rampage Grand Slam was better than Smackdown last night, in my opinion. And that's the second week in a row where Rampage was definitely better than Smackdown. But that's my review for both shows. Thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. And I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. What do you guys think about both Smackdown and Rampage Grand Slam? I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. But thank you so much for watching. It's much appreciated. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to leave a comment. And if you guys like the content that I make sure you subscribe and leave the notification bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. And until next time, this is Gabriel, and I'll see you next time in the Asylum. Have a nice day, everyone.